This afternoon, limited registration exercise has begun in the northern region after hours of a stalemate, after it was put on hold for 6 hours due to some technical challenges. Several centers Joe News visited earlier in the day showed huge crowds with no activity at the various centers. The Northern Regional Director of the Electoral Commission, Lucas Yil, confirmed to Joe News it was a challenge affecting all the centers in the northern region, which was resolved after close to 5 hours of waiting. Bismarck Nte is Tamale Metro Electoral Commission Director.
The challenges were that we're able to log in. You take a picture of the applicant. As soon as you get to that place, the system will not allow you to proceed to take the particulars of the applicant. So we're only limited to the picture. And we informed our clients, we're told that it was a technical problem, that the engineers were working on that. So before 12 o'clock, some few minutes to 12, we realized that the system started working. So roughly by 12, we started working and registering them. So as at now, things are going on well.
Since then, you haven't encountered any challenge?
No.
So how many people have you been able to pick so far?
I think so far we should be able to register about 50, maybe 50. Not much.
Wait, I mean, you literally spend like 6 hours,
6 hours
without
working.
What happens to that time that is gone?
Well, that one will be a management decision because it wasn't only limited to Tamale, but it was a nationwide problem. So I don't know what management will decide. Fighting among themselves, but I didn't go to. I tried to talk to them to calm down. That they're just arguing among themselves.
What are some of the issues they're arguing about?
Well, the argument is about those accompanying the applicants to the offices. It's like they all want to be on the table where the registration is taking place. And some of them are saying that they should move away and allow the guarantors alone to move with the applicant. And that is the argument that they are arguing.
Martina Bugri reports from the northern region, and she joins us on Zoom with update on the situation at in the northern region now. Martina, grateful that you're joining us. You've been visiting various centers. What have you been observing? Hello, Martina. I want to find out from you, since morning, you've been touring various centers to monitor how the process is going. What have you been observing? Okay, so we'll bring Martina on. The story is that in the northern region, for example, the process started just some few minutes ago after the process was kept on hold for several hours due to some technical challenges. Would want to understand, since the process started, what has been the case now. Our northern regional correspondent Martina Bugri is joining us via Zoom to give us update on what has been happening. Martina, thanks for joining us. You have been going around various centers since morning. What have you been experiencing? What's the experience like, most especially when the exercise started some few minutes ago?
Okay, so the exercise, people gathered very early. So between 7 o'clock, people were already at the various centers. And one challenge they had was when they begin and then they start taking the pictures, how to process it becomes a problem. Center after center, they all face the same challenge. And so when we spoke to the Tamale Metro EC director, he said they reported to the regional and it was forwarded to the national. So they noticed that it was not just a northern region case, it was a widespread issue across the country. And that was resolved some few minutes to 12, we are told, and then they started. We got there around 1:30 and we're told about 15 people had already gone through the process. We have some numbers there. It was generally very quiet, except some few disagreements over people crowding at the verification. Sorry, I should say that people crowded at the center where you would need a guarantor, except that generally it was very peaceful, the few centers that are vested in the Tamale metropolis.
Okay. So if I understand, you mean that the centers have been separated into where you would need a guarantor to guarantee for you before you register, and where you have all the details so you can register straightforward.
So if you have if you have your Ghana card, you just go to the process. If you have your Ghana card, you go through the process. But if you don't have it, you need some people to guarantee you before you can go through the process. And so we had said that at that table you have more than, the parties kept going on back and forth. But we are told that it was resolved. The issue was not a big issue. They had resolved it. And so the process was smoothly ongoing. The various political parties, especially the major two, the NDC and the MPP, have all admitted that the process is smooth and there is no challenges, except for the beginning that they had to wait all through day, about 5, almost 6 hours, waiting without the process, the registration taking place. They are very satisfied with what is happening so far.
Now, based on the delay, what have the parties been saying in relation to the delay that we had earlier in the morning?
They are hoping that a decision will be taken so that they will be able to make up for the time lost. The two major political parties have that sometimes the number of hours wasted, they believe a lot of people could have registered. And so they are hoping that some extra time or some other measures we put in place to help take care of the time loss.
Okay. So grateful to you, Martina, for that. Keep monitoring so that we can have a feel of what's happening in the northern region. So that's Martina Bugri there, joining us from the northern region. Let's now touch base with some of our correspondents across the country. But let's start from the Greater Accra region, where my colleague Sweetie Aborchi reports about a disagreement in the Ayawaso Central constituency, as at 11 a.m. registration had not started in some parts of the capital.
Still here at the Ayawaso Central constituency, it appears the issue of this technical hitch is running through many of these centers. Now, these first time, just turned 18s, if we can call them that, are complaining that they've been here since 6, 7 a.m. and the process is supposed to last about 5-10 minutes for each person, because you fill out a form with your relevant details, you go and capture your biometric details, and then you get your ID card laminated for you. But they've been here for almost 4 hours and nothing seems to be happening. Let's hear from the horse's own mouth. Esther, how are you this morning? What's it done there, Kosuwahasi?
Oh, yeah, by 6 o'clock, I go 7. I'm on start here. See, I go 11. You pay your coffee. But my catcher and say machine problem about the entrance kakra. To me, you pay your coffee.
Well, she's saying that she's been here since morning. They've been told that there's a problem with the machine, but they cannot wait and they want to go home. But hold for me, Esther. Esther's brother is also here with us, and he has some sentiments to share about this ongoing delay about the electoral process, the registration process. Thanks for joining us. Your sister was saying that she wants to go home because she's been here from 6 or 7 a.m. and now it's almost 11 a.m. How do you feel about all this?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'd like to say a very big good morning to your viewers. To be honest, like the way my sister was saying, we have been here since morning 6 a.m. because I have to rush quickly to the office. But when we got here around 6, we knew the official time was 7 o'clock a.m. But because we want to be the first in the queue, we came early so that we'll pass through the necessary exercise. But as it stands now, it's now 10:51 and we are still here. So the only thing that I need to tell my sister is just to calm my sister down. But I would like to plead with the Electoral Commission. You know, we are not in normal times. We are in an election period which the Electoral Commission needs to be up on again. We sometimes need to put our political parties aside and look at the interests of the country. we can't be here from 6 and now it's getting close to 11. So I understand how my sister feels and would like to call on the Electoral Commission to be up on their game. Thank you. Right,
thank you very much. Esther, will you be waiting for a little while longer just to give the EC time to resolve this issue, or are you done for the day?
Oh, me coffee, my bread, now.
Well, there you have it. Esther says she's tired and she's going home. That is one voter lost to the registration process. But what about this issue is from the Anya-Soltom constituency where we were earlier, they said that there's a portal that needs to be connected from the head office that has not been connected yet, and that's what they're waiting on, which is resulting in this technical issue. We hope that the EC is able to resolve it in time, and although this entire process is supposed to last for about 21 days, it appears the patience of those here ready to participate in this national important exercise are running out of patience. But this is what we have now from the Ayawaso Central constituency. For Joy News, I'm Sweetie Abochi.
Now, earlier, there was confusion at the Ayawaso Central constituency as a national security personnel was seen in a fight with some party officials from the NDC. We can hear from the monitoring agent for the NDC on what started the fight.
Very much. My name is Tahiru Ahmed, popularly known as Baba Warababa from Ayawaso North constituency. And I'm in charge of the monitoring, the 4 Ayawasos. So what happened is that, you know, as a media personnel, you are here to cover the registration. And what happened is that I learned the guy who is having problem with the other guy is a security personnel who is from Alaju, which I know him is a police officer, taking people in to register, in and out. He's trying to cross the queue.
So the police officer is the one taking people in and out?
In and out. So he's the one who wear the orange color or the red t-shirt. So you can see him holding a goat tie and other things. Because I saw him, I was asking, why is he doing this way? So, and I saw that maybe what is happening is the XYZ, they are trying to record what is happening. So, and I heard him saying that maybe he should stop recording. So the other guy was telling him that no, he is doing his job. As a media personnel, they are here to take cover what went wrong, what went right. So he has a right to cover it. They say no, they will not allow him to do the recording. So the other guy too said no. And for that one, you don't have that power to stop the media house. So that's what transpired for this hula baloo. So we have to intervene to make sure that maybe things are calm down, because I have to tell him as a security personnel, you don't have that right to be taking people inside for registration.
But he's not wearing uniform.
Yes, not wearing it because it's like maybe, you know, the strategy that they are doing, we know each other. And I confronted him and asked him, he said, yes, he's a police officer. So I told him that maybe as a police officer, you don't have that right to do whatever you are doing. That is why we always say that maybe we don't trust the security personnel, because this election, we need peace. But if they want to do whatever it is, because it's not going to augur well with all of us. Because if they are ready, which we are ready, because we need peace in Ghana. So let's peace prevail. Other than that, what they are intending to do, we can do more than them.
Is it partisan?
No, the thing now, it's a partisan, because if you look at the terrain here, NDC are here, we the NDC are here, the MPP too are here, other party agents too are here.
So that's the agent for the NDC telling us how that fight began. Let's now listen to the national security personnel telling his side of the story.
At Ayawaso Central, the guys that were supposed to arrange for them to come and get their polling station numbers and the rest. So there was one media guy, TV3, he came, he was captured. He said, oh, so one guy was talking to him that, oh, since you captured it, not that way, they were doing some kululu or something like that. That's not the case. But the other guy that came by said, oh, let him do his work. He said, from day one, nobody stopped him from working, because media, we are with you. So you have the right to do whatever that you're supposed to do. So the guy captured. So along the way, he started, there was one girl, he went and pulled her hair. And I said, what kind of sort is this? What is it? Already you were here that we talk about it. So I don't see the reason why, as a lady, you being a man, you should go and just pull her hair. So that let me intervene.
So are you a security officer?
No, I'm from the National Security.
National Security, but you're not in uniform today. What are you doing here this morning?
No, we are trying to monitor the situation on the ground.
Okay, so the other guy mentioned that you were taking people into the room there to register, which is not part of your duties here.
So, I was even standing here. They haven't taken anybody. They haven't climbed even upstairs. The other TV station, the other your sister station was here. He was capturing it. So there was one guy over there telling the guy that he shouldn't come and catch. I said, no, leave him. He's a media person. Let's do whatever. I don't know this. Since you people are not doing any ululu or whatever, let him do it. So another guy came and pushed the guy. Once the guy saw, he saw everything. Meanwhile, once the thing was here, you were not seeing anything. You were not even there. But they just give you an indict that you're supposed to come and say, no, you got it wrong. At least come and explain or talk to the media person and see the side of the story.
Well, in Kumasi, the voter registration situation is not different, as the exercise has been hit by some technical challenges in some districts of the Ashanti region, stalling the process. Since the exercise started, some applicants have not been able to go through the registration process due to the technical hitches encountered by the Electoral Commission. Although the EC says it is working towards resolving the challenges, some party agent and applicant are unhappy with the delay. Nana Boachi Yadom joins us now with some more. Nana, first, bring us a wrap of how the process has been in the Ashanti region. What time did it start, and how is the process traveling?
First-time voters coming in their numbers to participate in the registration exercise. Earlier on, the EC got hit by some technical challenges affecting the registration process or halting it for about 4 hours, but now we are being told that the technical challenge has been resolved, and so right behind me you can see first-time voters going to their various districts or constituencies to get their voter ID cards. And so we've been told that the cards has started, the EC has started issuing these cards to these first-time voters. We have to get interactive with these first-time voters who are participating in the voter registration exercise. Today I have this gentleman here with me. What time did you come here?
I came here around 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. And have you received anything? Have they spoken to you?
No, we haven't been spoken to us, yes. But we hope that now they have solved the internet connection. So we think that everything is going to go well for us to get our voter's ID.
You came here around 8 and it's past, getting closer to 2 or past 2 now. How do you feel? Are you stranded?
Well, you can see that it's not our fault. Because of the internet connection, that's why I bring all this problem. So we think that so far as they are started, everything can go well so that we can get our voter's ID. So for me, I don't have any problem. So far as the data is ongoing on, we think that everything will go well for us to just start the registration here.
Let me ask you one last thing. Why do you want to participate in this exercise? What drove you to come here to get your voter's ID card?
For me to select the right person to lead this country. That's what makes me to be participating in this exercise for getting my voter's ID, because it is through election that you can elect the right person. So I think that this is my major idea for me to take part in this.
So you want to participate in electing a leader for the country, right?
Of course, of course.
Yeah. You're a student?
Yeah.
And which constituency?
Menchia.
Menchia South or North?
I think South.
Okay, thank you so much. And so that is a first-time voter. He's willing to participate in the December 7th polls. That is why he's in here to register and get his voter's ID card to make sure that come December 7th, he will be part of the those who would make a choice for us in electing a leader. I have this lady here with me. What time did you come here?
I came here somewhere around 10.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
And then have you received anything? Have they come to you?
No.
They've not taken your particulars?
No, nothing. They just gave me a number. They gave me a number to maybe, I think the number they gave me, they'll be coming for it later. And a man just came here to arrange us according to the numbers they gave us. So we are looking out on them, what they are going to do.
Okay, but then, just as I asked your colleague or your friend here, why did you decide to participate in this voter registration exercise?
This is my first time, and I think I'm ready to vote this year. Yeah, that's why I came to do the voter's ID, so that I can be able to vote for this year's election.
Thank you so much. And so, words of some applicants who are currently here at the EC head office in the Ashanti region. a number of them are here, as I said earlier.
So that was my colleague, Nana Boachi Yadom, chronicling for us what has been happening in the Ashanti region, speaking to some first-time voters and how eager they are to take part in this process. But it's now time for us to take you around the country for update on how the process is panning out. Let's start from the Upper West region, where first-time voters are expressing frustration with the process.
We are currently at the Wa Municipal Office of the Electoral Commission, where we have met first-time voters who want to take part in this CSR exercise. So, Master, let me have your name. And then?
Baba Lovin.
Okay. You are here. Why are you here?
We are here to take registration of our cars.
Why do you want to register?
I want to register because I want to vote.
Why do you want to vote?
For the right persons, for the right people.
So when you talk about the right person, what do you mean?
I mean the person that can govern us, pass us through right decisions such that we can be comfortable in the country. Like, example like Cheddar, even though he has not yet come on power, but I know that I'm cutting this card just for him because I know that he can guide me through the industrial world.
So how excited are you to be part of this process?
I'm excited because I've heard a lot of advantages of the card. Just today they told us that you can use it for the bank account and all that. I have not registered my Ghana card, but I know that with this, they are saying guarantees this form we can register. So all the advantages of Ghana card I can get.
Let me have your name again. Okay, Lovin. Okay, we are here. Why are we here?
We are here to register so that we can select.
Is that the first time that you want to be part of the system? Yes. So how excited are you?
I'm actually excited. It's my first time. I'm actually going to be part of decision making in this country.
But how long have you been here?
The past
45 minutes. And then the process so far, is it quick? Is it slow?
Slow.
So, is the process slow? Look at my camera.
It's very slow to me because I actually thought that once we are a secondary school and a region like this, we are not many schools. So maybe they could have appointed just some few people to do it. So it's very slow for us with our time range. We have a lot of things to still do in school. Like we are in Form 3, we are still preparing for our CA exam. So it's very slow for us and it's boring.
So what do you want to be done?
We just, like I said, like maybe not for us, but for the next people. They'll appoint people to go specifically to secondary schools and they will do it.
What about you? What do you want to be done?
We should just get more people to get around all the secondary schools so that registration will go quicker.
Okay, you've heard two gentlemen, students from St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary. They are here to be part of the election process. First, by dual registration. They are telling us that the registration process so far is very slow and they would like it to be quickened. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Well, so my colleague Rafiq Salam himself is joining us live now from WA and to tell us what is happening there now. Rafiq, how is the registration process going in your region now that the exercise has started?
Now the EC are able to resolve that jigsaw puzzle and that software that they have been grappling with. As at 2 p.m., they've been able to register 36 people at the one municipal office of the Electoral Commission. Remember, we have 3 centers here in the one municipality. The first one being the one municipal office, the second being the Dr. Helele Mantan University, and also the SDD UBIT. And so, for 4 hours, starting from 7 a.m. at about 12 midday, they were able to register only one person. But now I can report to you that they have been able to fix that challenge. 36 registered as of 2 p.m. at the main office, and also both UDS and SDD UBIT, and then also Dr. Helele Technical University. Over them so far have registered 15 people each.
In terms of, the party's reaction to how the processes are going on in these centers. How has it been?
There have been some kind of a cordial relationship between the political parties here. You know, like I always say that in Wa here, if you are from this region or if you are from Wa, and then we are related in terms of blood ties and whatever. So the people here, they know themselves. There's no cause for alarm here, and then the people are written very well. For now, there have not been any arrest, no argument, nothing right here at the EC office or their registration centers.
What about queues? We've seen long queues in some parts of the country. How is it like in your end?
For WA, we haven't gotten those long queues. You know, as at and now when I left the place, there were about 6,000 people around the one municipal office. And so for them, for now, we don't have that long queues here. Maybe the subsequent days that we can have long queues, but for now, we have not experienced that long queues right here at the one municipal office or any of the registration centers in the one municipality. You
see the parties bussing in people?
I haven't seen political parties bussing people, but what I can tell you is that I've seen some institutions, some schools, their students being bussed to the place. I tried to inquire from them who brought them. They told me that they came on their own volition. A school like Wa Na Memorial Institute, they came in a bus. Close about 24 students came to do the registration. And they told me that they came there on their own volition.
Okay, all right. Rafik, I'm grateful to you for joining us. So that's my colleague Rafik Salam, who is joining us from WA with those updates. Now, the registration process has so far been smooth in the Central Region. Joining us with details is our Central Regional correspondent, Eric Asante. Eric, what can you report?
From where Rafi ended about the busing situation. Here in the Central Region, in areas like the KEE district, it's quite dispersed. So for new registrants, it was quite difficult to move to the EC's office. So you would see some of the political parties, i.e. the major political parties, the NDC and the NPP, busing new registrants from dispersed areas to the EC office to go through the registration. Aside from that, all the 22 venues for the exercise started late, as reported, because of the network challenges. I'm currently at the KEA district where the 36th person is going through the process to be registered. It takes less than 10 minutes for one to go through the process if that person has the required document. But if that person came in using the guarantor system, then it exceeds sometimes 15 minutes. Apart from a few who walked in themselves to the Cape Coast Municipal Assembly and also to the KEA district to register, I can confirm that most of the people in the areas like the KEA and some of the communities that we visited, they had to come in through vans organized by the two major political parties. That's what we can report from the Central Region.
And I'm sure you've been speaking to first-time people who are first-time registrants. What have they been telling you about the eagerness? We've heard from some people who are very eager to be part of this process. What are they saying? What are the various reasons they've given as to why they are there?
So their responses have been different, especially depending on where they find themselves. In the Cape Coast Municipal Assembly, which is an urban center, most of them told me they were registering because they needed to take part in the political process of the country. In areas that were a bit rural, most of the people told me when they had misplaced their Ghana card and they needed a form of ID as Ghanaian reason, they were motivated to come and register. So for the reasons why the new registrants are eager to register is quite different regarding where they find themselves. In the urban setting, there are different reasons, and in rural settings, there are different reasons. But all in all, there's some sign of eagerness as to the first-time registrants that we encountered when we paid visit to some of the registration centers.
Eric is our eyes and ears in the central region. Let's shift our attention now to the Volta region, where the process is smoothly ongoing despite an initial technical hitch. Nana Odro is the electoral officer on duty.
We started exactly 7 o'clock. We only have few challenges with our network system. Now it has come and we are attending to those that we registered. And as you see, the system is moving on very smoothly.
So far, approximately how many people have gone through the process?
As for the registration, we've done a lot. You could see that they are in the queue, but those who are taking their pictures, we've just started. So we've had about 20 to 30, and we hope that within the next 2 hours we'll be able to finish everybody who is here.
Any advice for people who are going through the process?
We want to advise those who want to register to come with the necessary document, the Ghana card and the passport. If they don't have it, they should come with 2 guarantors from the house. Then they come and we register them. But as usual, they have to be 18 years. If you know you are not 18 years, you don't have to come. And then you must be a Ghanaian and of sound mind, as the law actually stipulates. So we are ready for all those who come for the registration.
Our regional correspondent Ivy Setoji joins us via Zoom with some update. Ivy, so you've also been going around the centers. We've heard about the challenges that characterize this process in general. What has been the story at your end? What have people been telling you?
Actually, some of the new registrants said the challenge was of the network, that they've been there for some time and they were not able to register. Some of them had to go home and come back. Most of them are students, both in senior high, tertiary and all that. And so some of them said they wasted their time being there from the beginning because of some of the challenges. Some of them also said there were some other issues that the EC was not able to tell them earlier. They were not able to tell us exactly what issue it was. But aside that, the turnout today was low. We don't know the reason, but turnout today was low. So aside that, everything.
It's fine.
Okay.
Now, we've heard from other parts of the country where the political parties are busing people to the centers. Is that the case, or is it different in the Volta region? Ivy, I'm trying to find out from you that in other parts of the country, the political parties, the 2 main political parties, NDC and NPP, are busing people to the centers. Is it different, or is it same in the Volta region?
For now, whereas the places that I went to, I have not seen any of such for now. Maybe from tomorrow. The only thing I realized was the fact that turnout is low for today, but the EC officials are hoping that from tomorrow things will move on quickly. They attributed all this to challenges with the machines, and some of the political parties we spoke to earlier who wouldn't want to speak on camera said they are not happy about what the EC, the officials are doing in regards to the machines or the network challenges, thereby wasting time at the polling centers, especially those who are students, especially the tertiary institution who are there to register for the first time. So they are asking that EC does something about their network so that the process can be smooth.
All right. Grateful to you, Martina, for joining us here. But let's still stay on this and return to the central region, because the National Democratic Congress says it has some concerns over the operational challenges of the limited registration exercise. Joining us via Zoom now is the Central Regional Chairman of the NDC, Dr. Richard Asiedu. Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining. What are these concerns that you want to raise, aside the technical hitch that we are aware of? Doc, kindly on me so we can hear what you're telling us.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, church viewers. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, Central Region also started with this technical hitches, as well as the EC not living up to its responsibilities, especially at Ekumfi, where our agents were there around 7, of which the East officers were not around. And when they came, get the passcode from the headquarters was also a problem. And again, when they started at Himalua Dencha, for example, when students are registered, especially now most of the registrants are students. When you register, if say you are 21, the BVR will give you 19. If you are 19, it will give you 17. That is the situation we are getting in Central Region. So it has made the work very difficult. And I called Utu Senya East constituency, I called Agona East, I called Ifutu. They are all experiencing similar issues. So I don't know how come the machines or the BVRs will be giving you ages that is 2 years lesser than your age. I don't know what the outcome may be after you have registered. So technically, that is our challenge.
But that has not been resolved yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
And when you inquired from the Electoral Commission officers, when you inquired from the Electoral Commission officers, what were some of the reasons they gave you?
It's a technical challenge.
Okay.
It's a technical challenge, and they are going to resolve it. But imagine a schoolboy of about 17 years who has moved to the registration center around 8 o'clock to register. And if you look at the time now, it's getting to 4. And for the child to get the opportunity to register, and it turned out that instead of he being 19 years, it's now 17 years. So I don't know what the EC will come out to see how they can resolve this particular issue. For in Central Region generally, the registration is very slow. The network is a problem, it's a big challenge.
Okay.
The network will come on for just 1 hour, then it will just go. Then it will come in the next 30 minutes. That's the hitches we are going through, and it's affecting the smooth running of the registration process.
Interesting. All right, grateful to you for joining us with those ones. Let's get a national picture of the situation now. And Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, joins us via Zoom now. We also have the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Haruna Mohammed. We're also trying to get responses from the Electoral Commission itself, so we would understand what exactly is happening. But Mustafa, I'm grateful to you for joining us. You have, I'm sure, been monitoring from the national. What have you found so far?
All right, so good afternoon, and good afternoon to my colleague on the other side and our cherished listeners. So basically, I think today is day one. There's so much pressure on all political actors and parties. I want to believe that there's a similar pressure on EC itself in terms of machines functioning, in terms of network issues, in terms of activation codes, etc. We have also identified that there have been, heavy deployment of police officers to various registration centers to forestall disorder and all of that. So it is good that these arrangements have been put in place. There have been delays at some places. Registration haven't started at all. And so we were thinking that because the Electoral Commission have assured the country that it has made arrangements for standby power, these alternatives would have been used in areas where Dumso has been the issue. But it turns out that those generators are not present. And so it's a bit of a worry, but because it's day one, we will look over and see what comes tomorrow. In WIM, for example, we have surprise visitation of immigration officers who are moving within registration centers and harassing, applicants, inspecting their documents to see if they are Ghanaians. The immigration officers are supposed to be at borders and then ensure that people do not enter, illegal registrants do not enter into the country. How would you go into registration centers and be doing that? In the Bono region, the regional police command.
Bandi, on that score, how is it a problem if they are trying to check whether or not foreigners are partaking in this exercise?
Well, it constitutes a surprise and some of apprehension to people who are in the queues to register, because in any case, it's not a usual practice. But we don't have a major problem to that. I'm just saying that it is strange to the arrangements that have been put in place.
Okay.
In the Bono region, for example, the regional commander goes to a registration center to say that NDC vehicles that are parked at registration centers should be moved. That is not a job of the police. That is not why the IGP put them there. There have been a defined perimeter within which no one is supposed to go there, except if you are a registrant. So this is just day one. I believe there's a similar pressure on my colleagues at the MPP front, except to say that at this point we should come together to allow for smooth registration so that by law, Ghanaians who are qualified to vote can get the opportunity to register. In any case, people are under hardship. We cannot, if we believe that majority of the groups that turns 18 years or new registrants are students, then the Electoral Commission, government should do everything possible so that people will not have to struggle, people will not have to suffer, people will not have to be so frustrated in order to be registered. Because we know the prevailing hardship is also a factor, so that people will not have to leave their work, go to registration centers only to go home without being registered, unless it all plays into the calculated strategy of the MPP to suppress the number of Ghanaians who are eligible to vote, who are eligible to register from doing so, so that the defeat gap will be minimized. I know that is on the table of government and the MPP, but we will see how the Electoral Commission's hitches play into that strategy as we go forward.
That's speculations there, Bandi. But you mentioned earlier that some places have not had the exercise, starting as we speak. What are some of these places?
There are a lot of them.
Really? In which region?
I'm not holding the data to myself now because I'm doing the Zoom on my phone. I'm sure Haruna is seated in his office.
In which regions do we have centers where they've not begun at all?
There are centers in the Bono regions. There are places in the northern regions where registration haven't started 1 hour or 2 hours ago. There are places in the Bono East where 2 hours ago registration have not started at all. There are even places within the Greater Accra where 2 hours ago only about 6 people were registered. There are places they haven't registered at all. But again, we believe that today is day one, even though some of the challenges would have been mitigated to the barest minimum. We will still assume that we are in the earlier stages. There is pressure on us. There is pressure on the Electoral Commission. We hope to see if by tomorrow all of these hitches and challenges will be restored so that we can have a very smooth, a very peaceful, a very successful exercise for the people of this country.
All right. So let's see how it goes. But what is the party doing to probably offer support to people who want to register now?
Our part is to encourage willing Ghanaians to be able to go and register. Our parliamentary candidates who are key stakeholders, our MPs who are key stakeholders, party executives are all on the grounds to offer guidance as to how individuals will take advantage of the exercise and also register. We are on guard to ensure that we are able to stop the issue of people migrating data from some constituency to another constituency in order to gain political advantage. It's called data maneuvering. And then we are also on guard to prevent registration of foreigners at the various registration centers. So by and large, I think that the party is ready.
Okay.
I assume also that the MPP is ready, except that clearly the Electoral Commission must set up and do its work well so that we get to that standard where we can see that the exercise is smooth.
But for now, it's not smooth for you, as you say.
For now, I also believe that is day one. We'll wait to see if this repeats tomorrow. That's why I earlier indicated that it is in the interest of all of us to ensure that the Electoral Commission does everything possible to ensure that we do not frustrate our own students, we do not frustrate Ghanaians who will have to abandon their businesses, stay so long at registration centers, only to be frustrated by what they describe as technical problems. There's no problem that is technical. They have a technical team that should have worked on their network. They have a technical team that should have ensured that printers are working. There are places where the machines are not working. The components of the machine cannot print cards. All of these things should have been done. The Electoral Commissioner herself assures Ghanaians that she has made arrangements for standby generator at every registration center so that in the places where we do not have light or we have light challenges, that can be an alternative source of power. That arrangement have not been put in place as of today. We wait. Contrary to what the president has said to the people of this country that there is no doomsday has ended, the Electoral Commission is doling out a budget to make provision for alternative power supply. That is what exposes the president we have. But that promise must be made a reality because doomsday is real, energy fluctuation is real, and let us have alternative arrangements to ensure that people do not suffocate in their quest to fulfill their constitutional mandate.
Okay, all right. Bande, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. But just before I let you go, you know, the Ghana Education Service has also given some days for students who are 18 years old to go out and register, about 4 days. What's the reaction of the party to that particular decision by the Ghana Education Service?
Well, I believe that conventionally, both political parties or all stakeholders at registration centers, we understand that students are students, they are own children, they are given a priority in terms of when they arrive at registration centers, they go straight to register because they are students. 4 days may not be enough for us to cover all the students throughout the country. But again, when we get there and there are enough students who have not been able to register, we would have that conversation. But until now, we think that is a good initiative, except to say that I am not too sure how these 4 days will satisfy for us to be able to register or through the Electoral Commission to register all of these students, given the supposed technical challenges that we are recording even on day one of the exercise. I think that it might put all of us out of gear in terms of timing. And so Ghana Education Service may be considering looking at extending the days, given the prevailing technical challenges that we see. The 4 days may not be enough.
Okay, Bande, I'm grateful to you for joining us from wherever you are. So that's the NDC's Deputy General Secretary, Mustafa Bande. This is still The Pulse here on the Joy News Channel. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please don't go away.